Hello, new and old friends. I am 242, and today I will be reading you malicious compliance stories. These are the type of stories where you do as you're told, exactly as you're told. So sit down, relax, as I tell you these stories. I sold the ring he wanted, but he told me to. I used to work in a pawn shop as both a sales associate and a pawnbroker. I have so many stories I could probably fill this subreddit. But this one always makes me smile because how smug this man was. When I was a sales associate, I sold a lot of jewelry. I often had to tell people that we couldn't hold items because A, someone might come in and want it and they have the money right there, and B, we had a layaway program. So, unless you put some money down, about 20%, holding it wasn't an option. So, one day this man comes in and is looking for a very specific type of ring. Diamond channel set anniversary ring set in white gold size 5. The pawn shop I worked at had a vast collection of these types of things in many sizes with many different carat weights. He needed a specific size and a specific carat weight, and he was very much in luck because we happened to have it. Most pawn shops are you get what you see and you can see what you get. Basically, we don't have inventory / stock of any specific item, and our jewelers are there for sizing and dipping purposes only. So, I show him my ring that I have in the case. Me, here you go, exactly the size you need and just over the carat weight. Man pulls out a loop, looks at diamonds.
Okay, they're not as clear as I normally like them.
Me, yeah, I understand, but the price is only $350. And at a regular jewelry store, this would easily have run you around $1,500. So, while the clarity isn't as nice, it is still a really good deal, and I don't know if you'll find another this size with the same carat weight. Man.
Okay. Well, I know your sister store also has some rings, right? Do you think they would have some better ones with some better quality?
At this time, there is a woman looking at the ring and clearly listening to our conversation. But I'm positive he hasn't noticed her. She sees the ring in my hand and I see her eyebrows go up. Me. I'm not sure, but they are a smaller store, so their inventory is smaller. If they do have one, there isn't a guarantee the ring will be in the correct size or even the correct carat weight. Man.
Okay. Well, can you just hold this ring for me? I want to go see their inventory.
Me. I'm sorry, we can't. Company policy is that all items held must be put on layaway for holding. If someone wants to buy an item and it isn't in layaway, we don't want to stop them. Man.
Well, I'm gonna hold off and go check that store. If someone comes in and sees this specific ring, yeah, go ahead and sell it. But I doubt that's going to happen.
He walked away with a kind of smug look on his face. Just as he left, the woman who was listening to our conversation walked up. Woman.
Can I see that ring he didn't want?
I hand it to her. She slips it on her finger and smiles. Woman.
I'll take it.
She didn't even hesitate. She straight up bought this ring after wearing it for 5 seconds. During ring out, I asked her why, and she said she's been searching for a channel set ring for a few years at pawn shops, but none had caught her eye like this one, and it was her size, which can be hard to find. I told her have a nice day and cleaned it before she left. 45 minutes later, the man walked back in. Man.
Okay, they don't have anything, so I guess I'll take the one I was looking at.
Me. I'm sorry, sir, but after you left, a woman came up, tried on the ring, and bought it. I don't have any more carrot weight you're looking for. I have some in higher carrot weights, if you're interested. Man.
Are you effing serious? You knew I'd probably be back. Why'd you sell it?
Me. Well, you did say I should if someone came in and saw it. Just because you doubt something is going to happen doesn't mean it can't. This is totally that guy's fault. I mean, $350 is dirt cheap for that type of ring, and the diamond was slightly cloudy. He's an idiot. Also, I don't know why I gave that lady a southern accent. It just seemed to fit her to me. So, with that, we're going to continue on. If you don't like it here, hand in your notice. I handed in my notice. Just wanted to post this small personal victory, as I have no one to share it with. My boss and I have been constantly not seeing eye to eye, especially since working from home. Got to the point today where he said to me,
"If you don't like this company, hand in your notice."
Little did he know I had a job offer waiting elsewhere. So once the meeting was over, I sent him my notice. I mean, now I have to tighten my belt until my new job starts, but it's okay. I can live off the high of this moment for weeks. I just wanted to share that short little story. 1, OP, that was awesome. I'm happy you got out of that situation. And 2, might be able to cheer someone else up. So let's go on to the next story. I'm going to tell you the story how I left my restaurant job. I'm a good worker. I show 5 minutes early to every shift. I stay late when I'm needed, and unlike half of my coworkers at the time, I actually did my job. I was a credit to my workplace, and the GM knew it. After 3 months of working there, I had already gotten $1.50 raise and a few new uniforms. As a treat, GM's words. This is when stuff started to go south. Apparently, our location was under eval to become a training location, meaning that we would have a member of the training board making a trip from HQ once a week or more to test the employees on their knowledge and if they're following procedure. This lady was a witch. She showed up and immediately took issue with every single thing she saw. Your name tag was slightly tilted or under your apron? You're written up. You didn't have the right color pants on? Written up. Your shoelaces were ever the slightest bit loose? Written up. I, luckily, wasn't written up once, but many of my coworkers got many more write-ups in that week than they had gotten their entire time working there. Eventually, she started quizzing people, and if she took issue with anything you said, you're immediately written up and forced to retake the relevant training. This could mean that you got the wrong temps for the chicken, or that you stumbled over your words. Now, I might be a good employee, but I say a lot. It's a very bad habit of mine, but it only comes out when the information I'm looking for is habitual and not conscious. So stuff about the uniforms, I'm game. But if you ask me how long the chicken needs to be steamed for, it might take me a few for me to pull that information up, because I know it by pressing the up arrow on the steamer for 5 times. My solution? I would just answer in simple terms. No excess language. My goal was to use the minimum amount of speech possible. I was going all Kevin on this witch. How much mayo do you put in 13 pounds of chicken? 5 pounds, or 1 gallon tub. What dishes need to be clean and available at all times? Baking trays and shredder parts. What color shirt do you wear on Tuesday? Blue. It took me a bit to get the info, but I could, and did, pull it all out with no ums, which I know she would have taken issue with, because she did with Joe. I thought I was in the clear. I thought wrong. I got called over to one of the dining tables halfway through the lunch rush, surrounded by customers, where my GM and the HQ lady were sitting. I sit down across from them. Me, what do you need? GM,
HQ tells me that you were rude to her.
Me, I was? HQ.
You respond in such short answers and avoid any conversation with me.
Me. I did, because I was afraid you would take problem with something I said, and so I limited the things I said. It looks like I was right. GM.
Regardless, you have to sign this form saying that you were rude to HQ.
Me. But I wasn't. HQ.
You were.
GM.
Whether or not you were doesn't matter. You have to sign this to continue working.
Me. And if I don't sign it? HQ.
You don't continue working.
Me. Wonderful. I guess that means I quit. The HQ then says this.
We'll need your hat and all the pieces of your uniform as well.
I stood up, took off my company hat, and tossed it on the table. I then took my restaurant-branded shirt, tossed that on the table too. So here I am, a very hairy, grown man, standing with my nipples out, ruining meals of several white women around me. I then take a big stretch to show off my very Pillsbury Doughboy figure and to show off my hairy armpits. And tell them I'll have the rest of the uniform at the restaurant by the end of the week. I turn and leave the very lazy kitchen staff to pick up the slack during the middle of the lunch rush. Basically, they finally had to do their job. But that's not it. I get a call from the GM the next day where she asked if I knew that HQ was trying to bluff me. I responded with, I don't want to work in a place where an HQ feels they need to bluff their employees. The assistant GM gave me a glowing review, and I had an easier and better paying job before I even dropped off my shirts at the end of the week. I'm so happy OP got out of this. This is a terrible company to work for. HQ is testing them on stuff. I get that. But it's a simple, hey, what's this? Okay, you got that right. Perfect. It looks like your employees are doing a good job. Not a, well, your employees are saying a lot and they don't seem to know anything. And they're not perfect, so therefore we're going to write them up for everything. No one is perfect. So this is a terrible way to keep morale up. They're going to lose all their employees, and OP just was one of the first ones. With that, though, we're going to continue on. My section sergeant was a Richard to me, and I came back to bite him in the butt. I was a sergeant in the Army and was part of a unit that was about to get a big ceremony to change the patches we wore on our uniform sleeves. During our first formation of the day, my boss made a big deal about how Sergeant LSCRX is flagged for dental, meaning there is some dental thing that I am overdue or will be overdue in the near future. Now, this was the first time he had said anything to me, and I wasn't past due on anything. I was just coming up on my annual cleaning or something. Instead of just mentioning it to me one-on-one, he decided to make it a big deal about it in front of my entire section and demanded that I leave right then to go take care of it. Not one to argue with my senior NCO, I took off to the dental clinic a short drive away, with no appointment. I knew that we had a ceremony that afternoon for a new uniform patch, and I had no desire to participate if I could avoid it. The ceremony was going to involve several hours of us standing in formation, practicing to stand in formation. Lots of people reading speeches while we stood in formation, and then everyone would remove their old Velcro patch to put on our new patch. Yay! Well, it took a while to get in for an exam at the dentist, and by the time I was laying in the exam room, my phone started buzzing regularly with texts from my boss asking me where I was. These messages were getting angrier and angrier as they were practicing for the ceremony, and his boss wanted everyone there for it. I eventually messaged him back that I was still at the dentist and that I would head over as soon as they were finished clearing me. Bad news. The dentist said I needed a couple of fillings and would have to schedule an appointment. I asked her if there's any way that we could do it today, if I was prepared to wait. She said yes. Several hours later, I called my boss from the dentist's office to let him know I was finished. He was livid that I had missed the entire ceremony, and he demanded that I bring a document with me outlining everything the dentist had to do and why. I told the dentist this. Keep in mind, she is also in the Army and outranks my boss by an order of magnitude. And she is livid that he would ask for my personal medical information like that. Instead, she took one of the pre-printed notes that they give to children as an excuse for missing school and crossed out the word student and wrote sergeant along with my name and the date. I made sure to hand the note to him in front of our section and remind him that I went on the day of the ceremony because he ordered me to. So you berate someone while you're getting ready for a big ceremony, tell him to go take care of it now, then get mad that he's gone for the whole day. And then inform him that you need his personal medical information before he comes back? This boss is stupid. No. I love what the dentist said though, and freaking gave a, I'm sorry, this student was gone because of blah blah blah, and it's, sorry, this sergeant was gone because of blah blah blah. I mean, the sergeant was following orders, but that's freaking amazing. And with that, my friends, we're at the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it because it was a Patreon pick by my amazing Patreon, Billzors. If you'd like to pick a topic I read, check the link down below. But you might be thinking, nah, we're not that good of friends, or, no, I must feed my pet dragon this week. That is fine. Hit the like button, slap it, make it know you hit it, and subscribe so you know when I put up my next video. It'd also be awesome if you shared this video as well. But really, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you Sunday, my friend, because it's time for me to give you some chills with some scary stories. Goodbye.